another one, yeah. It's a first one, yeah. Oh, he's another one. He's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Good evening. This is iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
All good, cuz. All good. Still recovering from United's loss yesterday, but we'll bounce back. You know what I mean? That's what life and sport's about. But other than that, cuz, how you been? How you been? Hopefully everything's good.
Good. Not too bad. Just excited about boxing, really. I was at the Croydon yesterday, Box Park, where you had Boatsy, Dan Aziz, Chamberlain, pretty much the people who will be participating in the upcoming event taking place at the O2 Arena in a couple of weeks' time. So it was nice just to see everyone, you know, the likes of Ben Shalom, Sky Sports crew, Spencer Fearon, Johnny Nelson, and many more. Good experience.
No, I love that, cuz, man. Just the fact that, you know, as a team, we're networking. Obviously, I was in your call. Now you're, you know, seeing the presser as well. And big up the rest of the family as well. Aisha, you know, Rah as well. I believe that it was you and Rah and Aisha at the event, isn't it? And obviously, big up Rico as well, man. It was a pleasure seeing him in person for the Your Call show, man. But cuz, like, I know we've got a special guest and we're gonna, you know, introduce him very shortly when he's available. But cuz, just tell me about the overall experience. Like, how was it like for fans that haven't been to pressers before? Like, how would you recommend it?
It's nice. It's a good way of networking and seeing. It's weird because seeing boxers in life, seeing them there is different to seeing them on TV. It's like I saw Caroline Dubois. I didn't know she was that tiny. She's small. No. Lovely lady, but I just didn't know she was that small. Because obviously, you know, when you see people on TV, you know, it makes them look, I wouldn't say big, but just different. Do you know what I mean? But seeing them in person is just like, wow, she's tiny. You know, you know, obviously the boxing ring at Box Park was small as well. Obviously, you know, it's not that, but no, it was a good experience. Literally, just everyone's just happy. You know, it's nice. It's really it brings the community together. Do you know what I mean? You know, supporting fighters and also giving away free tickets, etc. So it was nice, man.
Oh, that's absolutely tremendous, man. And big up Caroline Dubois as well after her victory. You know, her first title. And, you know, it's going to be bigger and better things for her, man. So big up to her. And just big up to everyone that you met as well at the time. And, cuz, like, what's your gut saying? You know, after the presser, did you, like, notice anything between the fighters? Did you see anything that thought, oh, is he nervous? Or do they just both look ready?
Do you know what? I think nerves will always be there. It's just one of them ones where, you know, like I said before, I said, what happens to the loser? Do you know what I mean? Is it back down to the drawing board again? Or, so I feel that they're both focused. They're focused. Like they're not overlooking no one. They're both focused. If someone was to ask me who to pick to win, I'll say Boatsy, but then something tells me that this fight may be a draw. I don't know. I just, yeah. No. I'm being honest. You know, I'm not because I saw Dan Aziz and like, look, he's hungry. He's done it the old school way. He'll fight anyone. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he didn't have to fight Boatsy. He could have fought somebody else. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird. It's like, does Dan need Boatsy or does Boatsy need Dan?
They need each other.
Do you know what I mean? You know?
I'm saying they need each other because, sorry to cut you off, I'm saying they need each other because after sort of Boatsy's performance, you just sort of think, he needs like another opponent that will, you know, maybe push him to an edge where we see more of his qualities that we know because he's got a good amateur background. But Dan Aziz, man, like, I can't even lie. I think he will do it, man. I don't know. I just got a good feeling about him, especially sort of meeting him in person. He's hungry. He's ready. He obviously said he's done some of the good things coming up to this fight, really, because he's on a good streak and he wants that to continue. So it's gonna be interesting, cuz man, it's a proper South London scrapper, man. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is, yeah. Here's the thing. Also, I don't want to come across shady or anything like that, but the winner will potentially fight Bivol, right? Potentially, yeah. Bivol's belt.
Yard.
All yard, yeah, all yard, depending on what gets presented, yeah. So the way I see it, the loser could potentially fight, challenge Linford Arthur for the IBO.
Yep.
I reckon it's fair because at the end of the day, it's just like it's giving Linford Arthur another opportunity to prove himself that he's one of the best in the division. At the end of the day, that look, you've got the likes of Yard, Buatsi, Dan Aziz, Linford Arthur, Callum Smith, and many more. And Spider. So I think that's the route I'll play. I'll go. So whoever wins either fights Yard or Bivol if that opportunity gets presented. But the question is, where's the money at? Would it be for the world title or would it be with Yard? And if you was a manager, if you was the boxer's age manager, which route would you advise your boxer to take? Let's just say Dan Aziz won. So would it be Bivol's title or would it be Yard?
You know what, cuz I can't even lie. That's one of the most difficult questions, just considering, how the division landscape is and money, etc. Obviously, Aisha's big up to you as well. She's obviously saying that she's praying for a draw. I know, Aisha. I know you're praying for a draw because you obviously love both fighters, both their energies, their characters. But unfortunately, especially in sport, there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. But as fans, we can be winners because if it's a great fight, we can be winners. So I think at the end of the day, hopefully us as fans, we're winners and we see a tremendous fight because this can be a London scrappers. But going back to your question, cuz, because I've obviously gone a little bit off topic. The best route I would go for if I was a manager for Dan Aziz in this situation is let's try to stretch out his career a little bit longer. So I would say Yard next, and the winner of Yard and Dan Aziz, if considering he wins, fights the champion. Because I think from an experience perspective, it'll be good for Dan Aziz to have a couple domestic fights ticked off, then fight for the world title. Because technically, we've got the world's best in England. So if you tick off those domestic bouts, Yard, Watsy, world level, can't complain. That's just my take.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to disagree and go for the title shot because opportunities only come once in a lifetime. End of the day, I mean, I don't know if you'll get more money fighting Bivol. I don't know. But it's the experience because look at Dan Aziz. He's got the Commonwealth, he's got the British title, he's got the European title. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's doing it old school way. He's doing it, So I will go for the world title shot, and you never know, he can pull it off. And then maybe because end of the day, it's weird because look, if we rewind back a few years ago, it was about Yard and Buatsi. Yard and Buatsi. Do you know what I mean? It was just Yard and Buatsi. That fight has to happen. But now it's just like, if Buatsi loses, would we still see would Yard and Buatsi still be a bigger fight? It's a weird one, isn't it? Because obviously there's no belt involved, but it's just like, yeah, it's a weird one.
You're right. You know what? You're 100% right, cuz, because the way I see it is that fight that happens in England is similar situation, if I'm sort of thinking back in time, of Nigel Benn Chris Eubanks situation where you've got domestic top people and they've got the belts. And I think it would make it even a bigger fight if a title's on the line, man. But I think domestically, because I think regardless, it still be a fight that we want to see. Like, we want to see what would happen if these two fight, because it's been sort of the conversation for a long time. That's why I hope that if that fight does happen in the future, it's for a title. Honestly, it's for a title. And potentially can happen. Who knows? It just depends on what happens in this fight, and also the next upcoming fights. 2024 could bring this fight for a world title. Who knows, man? But that's the beauty of boxing. We don't know right now, man. But guys, just wanted to just make a quick apologies as well. Sorry, there was a bit of a cancellation on our guest, but look, the show goes on. And we're going to do the midweek roundup regardless. Because continue, man.
Yeah. So Callum Smith, Bertabiv, that's happening, I believe, January. Now, let's just say Bertabiv does the business. Let's say he does the business. Would we eventually see him in Bivol? Would it be for Undisputed?
You know what? We're in a bit of a strange situation because politics is stopping these two from fighting, unfortunately. And until that scenario is kind of sorted, I don't think there would be an undisputed fight between both guys. Even though it should happen, like by now it should have happened, but there's a bit of politics that's restricting that from happening. So Callum Smith could, spoil the party and, win those belts. And then that will flip the whole division. Imagine if Callum Smith was to pull it off, bring those belts back to England. Then you've got the likes of Yard, available. You've got the winner between Dan Aziz and, Joshua Boatsi as well. You've got, Lyndon Arthur there as well. So, the division right now is looking like a bit of a mad one. And cuz, believe me if I'm wrong, and look, guys, everyone that's involved, Billy Joe Saunders, is he going to be fighting at light heavyweight as well?
Rumors are saying that. That's weird. It's just weird because the thing is, has he fought at light heavyweight before?
No, he hasn't. I don't think. No, this is his heaviest weight.
I reckon that if he's going to fight at light heavyweight, he needs to fight a decent opponent. I don't want any journeyman. I want someone decent. I want someone top 10.
Who are you saying if you was the manager? So you're the manager of Billy Joe. First fight back at light heavyweight. If that's the case, who are you putting him in with, man?
Spider. Or Lyndon Alpha. Yeah. No, you have to, because look, end of the day, look, the light heavyweight division, it's pretty serious. We've got serious contenders, but I just feel if Billy, my understanding, he wants to come and become a champion, but before he has to go through, the likes of Yard, Boatsi, Dan Aziz,
Spider, Lyndon Arthur,
Yep.
No, 100% agree, and I agree with you. I agree with you completely. There's some real warriors in the light heavyweight division, and look, it's exciting times, cuz in boxing in general. We've had, cuz we didn't speak about it on the last pod, and I'm happy that we've got a platform like this. Two fights we didn't really speak about. I don't know if you watched it over the weekend, but El Azteca versus Ugas.
No, do you know what? Sorry, I saw the highlights. Marios Barrios, he done the business. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I was literally shocked. I thought Ugas was gonna do Marios Barrios. Wow, I don't know what to say. I mean, he could potentially Marios Barrios. I would like to see him fight Boots Ennis. Oh
yeah, that would be a good fight, man. And look, cuz I think I've mentioned El Azteca's name a few times in the pod. I just like his vibe. I like his energy. He's a warrior, San Antonio, Texas, but originally from, Mexico. He just brings that energy. And if you look at his past few fights, he's had Tank, he's had Keith Thurman. You know, he's gone in there with killers, man. So, and look, he's gone in there with Ugas now, got the victory, convincing as well. So let's make it happen. And guys, look, this is a little announcement for the show anyway. Cuz, do you want me to sort of put it out there? So we're gonna have Mr. Knowledge, Spencer Theorem on the show. So guys, we're gonna have him shortly. So today, but we've got him another day, tomorrow, I believe. So guys, that's the news, and that was actually the special guest, man. But look, big up. Cuz LS Decker, I just want to sing his praises, man, because I said he was gonna win this fight. He's gone on to win the fight as well. And the fight against you know, Boots Ennis, I think that will be, you know, really exciting for the welterweight division. I can't lie.
Yeah, well, it'll be exciting for the welterweight division once
Crawford goes up. But he needs to vacate the belts, exactly.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? Like before Charlo fought Canelo, Crawford was saying he would want to fight Canelo, right? After Charlo lost to Canelo, Crawford was saying that Crawford was saying that, you know, Charlo's performance was whack, but he didn't say he wants to challenge Canelo. I think he saw Canelo in the ring. He thought, yeah, I don't want none of that smoke.
You know, because I think Canelo, we've seen him go up from, you know, lower division, welterweight, up until, you know, light heavyweight. I think naturally he's a bigger guy, man, and I think, you know, him coming down to sort of super middleweight, which is 168, I wouldn't be surprised if he's coming into the ring, maybe light heavyweight. So, you know, if you're moving up to super middleweight and you're fighting Canelo, you're potentially fighting a small light heavyweight, man. So it's a tough task. And look, Crawford is he's tremendously talented. We can say that this is his era. He's definitely up there in the pound for pound rankings. But a fight against Canelo the other day was just an example of maybe, you know, the divisions can't be going up that much, man. So look, even Haney as well, like, I just think he should have vacated the belts, man, for, you know, for a Tank and a Shakur to, you know, fight for the belt or something, man. You know what I mean?
Just a quick one. Just want to touch up on Fury's event, Tyson Fury's event.
Oh, yep, the big one.
We've got a serious fight there. We've got Takam v Spicoli.
Woo! This is a big one, man. Hopefully,
how do you see that one going?
You know what? I'm gonna be a bit biased, man. I just hope, you know, Congolese brother, you know, puts in a performance and you know, gets a stoppage, man. I think that's what he needs to do. I think he needs to put in a performance that, you know, puts him in line for a next big fight. So a stoppage for me has to be the one, man. He has to go for a big one. He can't let it go to the judges, because, you know, once it goes to the judges, it just makes matchmaking a little bit more difficult. So I'm hoping that he gets a stoppage, man, if I'm honest with you, guys. Against Takam, aging, you know what I mean? It's a good time.
Yeah, because I think Spicoli, I mean, I think he's 29 or 30, I'm not too sure. Whereas Takam, he's like, what, in his 40s now? So, yeah. It'll be an interesting one. I'll stick with. I'll go over Spicoli. I reckon that Spicoli, just being a younger opponent, I reckon he'll do the job. I also understand Derek Chisora, he wants to fight Zhang. I'm not sure if that fight will happen, but Zhang's on his hit list.
Okay. What do you think?
I reckon that he will most probably put on a better performance than what Joe did, but I think the outcome will probably be the same. Actually, I don't know, because Derek hits hard. If he lands clean, there's a possibility he can rock Zhang. But my only concern is that it's weird. I was going to say Derek's getting old, but obviously Zhang's older than him. Do you know what I mean? I think it'll be a proper scrappers. I think it'll be a good one, because Derek is not stiff. He moves around. He moves. He's a mover.
So Untraceable, big up for obviously getting involved in the discussion. He's obviously saying Takam's fights are always entertaining. Look, I always agree. I agree with you as well. Takam's fights are very, very, very entertaining. And I definitely feel that one way or another, we as fans are going to win seeing Takam versus Bacoli, who's hungry. You know, he wants to put on a statement. He wanted that fight with the body snatcher White, Dylan White. So, look, it's him for him to do a job, really. Like, he's got the platform to sort of say to the boxing world, look, like, I'm the next up. Do you know what I mean? And answering your question about Zhang as well, and Chisora, Zhang for me is like you have to put him in the top 4 of you know, the heavyweights right now. He's
top 4.
Yeah, top 4. Yeah, definitely top 4. Yeah. You have to put him in the top 4 now, just based on, you know, him and his performances as well. The way he's, you know, he's dispatched, you know, Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, who's never been, you know, stopped in that fashion. So I think he'll be a threat to anyone sort of in the top 3. I would say he's pushing. He wants to be a champion, you know, he wants to make history as well. And if he can't get a title fight next year and, you know, Chisora is available, do it. But, you know, there's also other fighters that he could fight, man. I want to see Andy Ruiz Jr. in the ring. I want to see the Destroyer. I want to see what he's saying. I want to see where his mind's at. I want to see like how hungry he is. Jared Anderson as well, hungry champion, hungry potential champion as well. Like, there's heavyweights coming up that we think, you know what, something could happen potentially. Moses Satuma, he's obviously on the come up as well. So look, it's exciting times, and obviously Jamie TKV, man, he'll bounce back, you know, from that loss. It was an experience for both him and Bazza during that time, and I think both guys will bounce back with a tremendous victory.
Interesting time. Yeah, interesting time. Right. So I think I mentioned this before already. It's been confirmed that Usyk and Fury is happening. It's been signed. It's happening. I remember speaking to one of my work colleagues, and he was just saying Usyk is a potential threat to Fury. Now, people watching this will be like, what are you talking about? Fury is big, and I think he struggles to lose some of his weight. Usyk, non-stop moving, southpaw, and he's really, really good. Good footwork. I believe it'll be a boring fight because Fury will make it boring. But if Fury doesn't knock out Usyk, if it goes to points, potentially Usyk can win that fight.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I think Usyk is hungry, and I think he's been waiting for this fight for a very, very, very long time. And I think if he wins this fight, that's it, man. I think he's done. He has nothing else to prove in the sport. You know, undisputed cruiserweight champion, and then becoming undisputed heavyweight champion. He would have nothing more to prove in the sport, man. So I'm hoping that fight would be the sort of the final chapter of the sort of heavyweights that are, you know, undisputed, because we've been waiting for this, cause for what, over 20 years since Lennox Lewis.
So you're saying that if Usyk beats Fury, Usyk retires.
Okay, I found this on the web for BC.
Yeah, definitely. I think because he would have nothing left to prove in the sport. So Aisha is obviously getting involved in the chat. Pick up Aisha, saying what Chisora needs to retire. Cuz, what's your thoughts, man? Chisora needs to retire. Do you think he's got more in the tank? You know, Ward Chisora. I think he's got more in the tank. I think he's got.
Do you know what? I like Chisora because he's just raw. But I prefer him when he's doing Mr. Delicious, because like he brings entertainment. No, for real, he brings entertainment. In terms of fighting, it's just like, who is out there for him to fight? Okay, he wants Zhang, but would Zhang give him the opportunity? I don't know. Zhang would probably like to fight the likes of AJ, because that'll generate more money. And if it could happen in China, do you know what I mean? With Derek Chisora, I don't know. Zhang could fight Derek, but
how about Big Baby Miller, Jarrell?
Well, my understanding is he's going to be fighting Emmanuel Charr for the regular WBA.
You know what? I keep forgetting. Why do I keep
Yeah.
forgetting? Yeah,
The
that's
only fight I can actually see Derek fighting is Joe Joyce.
Oh, look. Obviously, big up our Heyman of iBoxingHub. Guys, if you haven't seen the interview, it's out on the channel. So we've obviously, part of the team, we've had the tremendous interview with Zhang's advisor, and he obviously told us on the channel that the AJ fight is what they want, and they want to do this in China. And cause that sort of leads me on to the question: how do you think that fight would happen? How do you think it would be in China, Beijing, maybe the first in Bird's Nest Stadium? This is the tremendous interview. Loving the thumbnail. Big up, Big Bang Zhang. Chinese power. Come on, man.
It'd be a good fight, but I just think Zhang's too slow. I think mid to late round, he will gas. I watched him when he fought Herkovich. Mid to late round, he got tired.
But do you think his conditioning has improved since?
Yeah, but his conditioning has improved. But he was fighting the juggernaut. That style is different. People forget, bro. AJ's a smart. He's a smart dude. Like he's a student of boxing. Like he's not gonna go there and trade. Obviously, he's had issues with southpaws, but Zhang's a perfect opponent for him. AJ can have it out with tall people. When it comes to small people, he struggles.
And I believe AJ beat Zhang in the amateurs, I believe, as well.
You think so? Yeah, I think it's amateurs or one of them. Yes.
Yeah, the Olympics. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So revenge from the Big Bang. He wants that revenge.
But that's the thing. Even if he was to get that revenge, yeah, this is how mad boxing is, yeah. So if Zhang was to fight AJ, is he putting in a rematch clause? Because he can potentially lose his spot. Do you know what I mean? So it's when you think of it now, yeah, it's risky. Think about it. Joe Joyce, he was he was mandatory for, I don't know, it's a WBO, one of them, for a very long time. He done the same thing what Dylan done when Dylan fought when he defended his WBC mandatory position against Povetkin. He lost the first fight, but he won the rematch. Do you know what I mean? But it's a risky one. It's a risky one.
It's a risky one, but I think that's what you're in the sport for. You got to take risks. Like at the end of the day. Yes, I know it's the heavyweight division sort of, it's a bit hit and miss sometimes because you could wait, but you waiting and being inactive, it's not good. Whereas if you're active in some of the biggest fights, then yes, there's more wear and tear in the body, but you're going to be sharp and ready for that big opportunity to come. Because we saw like over the weekend, or we saw in the last fight we watched with Charlo, that the layoff also was a big factor. The layoff is a big factor. Spence, the layoff, also a big factor, man. So we got to look into sometimes the away from the ring as well. And I think you've mentioned it a few times on shows as well, that in activity, cause like it's a big thing in boxing, man. You've got to be active, and if you can be active in competitive fights, I think it's a win-win, man, and it's going to be a big payday as well, man. Why not?
Just before we round up, you got a big fight this weekend. We've got Lee Wood and Josh Warrington.
Big one.
How do you see that one going?
I'm seeing Lee Wood getting the victory, man. I think he's very exciting, Lee Wood. I can't even lie. He's holding it down for Nottingham, taking the mantle from, the Cobra, Cole Froch. I think he's done a tremendous job. And I think he's going to get the stoppage, man. I think because Warrington is sort of coming up to that point now where it's, unfortunately, like the standards that he's set in the beginning of his career, is slightly going down naturally due to maybe wear and tear, being active, and Lee Wood's on the rise right now, man. So I think it's the perfect time for Lee Wood to have this fight. I think he's gonna, potentially get the stoppage late, and it's gonna be a good fight. But Lara, let's not forget how Lara is the man. I can't even lie. Lara does his thing, man. Gets down to business, Lara. So,
but remember, Lee Wood beat Lara on the rematch, so I really want to see Warrington and Lara. Oh, that's a fight. That's a rematch I want to see. Yeah, but guys, on that note, we're back here again tomorrow. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Peace and love. We finish now. Finish.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag,